So the main issues with the traditional Kumiko construction process is that it's a very time and labor intensive undertaking. To even get started, a decent number of tools are required, most of which I have highlighted over here and I'll get into in a second. But essentially each time you want to create one of these panels that you see here, you need to get all of these tools out, you need to tune them, you need to maintain them, and you need to set them up. And it takes a long time. Additionally, given that we're working with sort of a non-uniform material, wood in this instance, that fluctuates with humidity and has voids and bends and twists and whatnot in it. A lot of trial and error goes into fitting all of these pieces together just right, because they're all held in place with friction. There's no glue or nails or anything like that. So to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let's have a look at the setup here. I'll go over some of the tools and I'll just kind of walk you through a blank panel construction to give you an idea of how this works. So we have a blank panel right here. We're going to cut a diagonal piece, one that goes directly across just from corner to corner. And so anytime you're going to cut a piece, you need to get one of these reference blocks out that has these differing angles on them. Since we're doing a diagonal that has it's a 90 degree here, we're going to use a 45. We'll take our piece, we'll insert it into the block here, and what we'll be doing is essentially taking a chisel, referencing it against this face here, and sliding it across the face to make a cut in the piece. So what I'll do is I'll first adjust my sort of screw stop here, which as you can see is slowly pushing the piece until it's just proud of the surface there. And at that point I would grab my chisel, reference it against this face, and push through. Now the problem here is, again, as I said before, is that these are friction fits. So I need to have a very precise angle on here. This one was pre-cut. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So you can see it's about 90 degrees from those two 45-degree cuts that I already made. But in order to get the length right, the distance between here and here, I have to repeatedly dial in that length by just ever so slightly adjusting my length, making another cut, test fitting it, ever so slightly adjusting my length, making a cut, test fitting it, until this piece fits perfectly in like this. And you can see I can pick it up and shake it around and it won't come out. And obviously, as you just saw, this all takes a pretty long time. So the other issue here is that once I'm done with this piece, I need to make another one with different lengths and different angles. Sometimes pieces have two angles on either end. I need to redo this whole process over. I need to reset this length. I need to unscrew the clamps here. I need to get a different reference block out or flip this one around. And overall, as you can see, this process just takes a lot of time. So the idea behind the machine was, let's see if I can replace a lot of the sort of mundane and repeated processes that are going on when making these panels with something that's a little bit more efficient and less time and labor intensive.